audience here in this club, about 1,000 members and their guests, all in dinner jackets, and they've all just been having dinner and celebrating the forthcoming Epsom Derby. Everybody tonight on the top table has some connection with racing. And now here come the participants in the main contest tonight. The former world light heavyweight champion from Britain, John Conteh, and his opponent from America, Jesse Burnett. And this is Burnett coming to the ring. 33-year-old Californian, a man who learned to fight in jail where he served 7 years convicted of armed robbery. Burnett, who a year or so ago was very much up among the top contenders for the world title. Met with 1 or 2 defeats lately, but still will be a severe test for Conteh. And now we hear that making his way from the dressing rooms is the former WBC light heavyweight champion, a man who hopes to fight again for the world title this year, and who most certainly cannot afford to lose tonight. On his way to the ring now is John Conteh.
With the hands, little Conteh finally make their way to the ring.
Conteh, of course, now 27 years old, born in Kirby near Liverpool. His first fight tonight for 6 months. He should have met Burnett in February at the Wembley Conference Centre, but a car accident that Conteh had last November gave him some more trouble with that right hand of his, which has given him so much trouble in the past. But now he fights Burnett tonight, and here he is, John Conteh. Conteh getting a tremendous reception from the 1,000 or so people in the Anglo-American Sporting Club. Clapped all the way to the ring as he makes his way between the tables where people have been wining and dining tonight. Conteh's reputation, once again, as it always is these days when he climbs into the ring, absolutely at stake. He cannot afford to lose this fight tonight. Otherwise, the chance to get his old world title back might never come. And this fight tonight is the first of 3 fights that have been planned for Conteh in the next 2 months. After this one, assuming all goes well, he's due to fight Pete McIntyre at Wembley next month, and then another fight scheduled for June, and then, if all goes well with that, he hopes to fight for the WBC light heavyweight title, that's the 12.5 stone title, sometime in the autumn. The current holder, of course, of the WBC title is Marvin Johnson of the United States. Conteh's last attempt at the World Championship was last June in Belgrade, when he met the champion then, who was Mate Parlov of Yugoslavia. He lost a controversial 15-round decision to Parlov, but since then Parlov has lost the title to Marvin Johnson of the United States. Now later this month, Johnson is due to fight Matt Franklin, another American, and Conteh hopes to fight the winner of that match later in the year. Conteh in white shorts tonight, against this very interesting character from Los Angeles, 33-year-old Jesse Burnett. Convicted of armed robbery at 18 years old, spent 7 years in a Californian jail, Burnett, and turned pro the year after he came out of jail, 1972. He's had 27 pro fights, not many for a man of 33, 19 wins, 1 draw, and 7 defeats. And another interesting point about Burnett is that when Conteh was stripped of his WBC title because he refused to go to Monte Carlo in 1977 to defend it against Miguel Coelho, then Burnett was the man who was brought in to replace Conteh at just a few days' notice, and he went to Monte Carlo and met Coelho and was knocked out in the 9th round. which was hardly surprising as he'd taken the fight at such short notice. Probably still suffering from jet lag. But there we are. It's an interesting little thing that Conteh should be meeting that man tonight. Well, as I was saying earlier, this evening at the Anglo-American Sporting Club is not only to see whether Conteh can beat Burnett, but it's also a derby day night. This is the year of the 200th derby. That's the top table, and everybody on that table has some important connection with racing. You can see Peter O'Sullivan, our racing commentator there. And sitting right beside him, just hidden by his father, in fact, is the 18-year-old superstar American jockey who arrived in this country only a few days ago, Steve Portman, just hidden by his father's head there next to Peter O'Sullivan. And that table is full of racing personalities. People like Harry Ragg, Brian Price, Edward Hyde, Scobie Breesley, Willie Carson, a lot of famous trainers up there as well as jockeys.
Gentlemen, please. Mr. President, my lords and gentlemen, the main bout of the evening. This is an international world-class light heavyweight contest of 10 rounds, of 3 minutes each round, of a match made at 12 stone and 9 pounds. Between and introducing to you, firstly, from Inglewood in California, USA, Jesse Burnett.
Inglewood, suburb of Los Angeles.
And the former undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world from Liverpool, John Conteh. Gentlemen, at the weigh-in this afternoon, Conteh fell 12 stone, 8 3/4 pounds. Burnett, 12 stone, 8 1/4 pounds. The referee officiating for the main bout, Mr. Harry Gibbs, OBE, and the timekeeper, Mr. Conteh Wright. Thank you.
Harry Gibbs, Britain's most famous boxing referee, taking charge tonight. Conteh looking just a little bit strained and liable to make a slow start if past form's anything to go by. It's his first fight for 6 months. We hear that his weight went up to something like 14 stone during the layoff, but he's down to 12, 8 3/4, which is only 1 pound and 3/4 over the weight he'd have to make if he fought for the world title. Burnett on the right is just half a pound lighter. A couple of years ago, Burnett was very much up among the top contenders for the world title, but with a few defeats in the last year, he's lost his place. I saw Burnett fight in Las Vegas last year when Ali lost his world heavyweight championship to Leon Spinks. He fought on that bill against Eddie Gregory of the United States, did well in the early stages, but got stopped in the 10th and final round. And his record tends to show that he runs out of steam as he goes further into a fight. If you remember the last time we saw Conteh in action, it was at Wembley, and he made a very, very slow start against Leonardo Roger of the Dominican Republic, and then in the 7th round produced just one right hand, which laid Roger flat. Burnett snaking out a few good left hands and finding Conteh's head. Useful right hand there, but a little far back on Conteh's head, but nonetheless, Conteh showing himself to be a touch vulnerable about the head. Lefts and rights now have found him. Conteh simply can't afford to lose this fight. Again, that right hand coming round the corner and catching Conteh high up on the head. Little buzz of surprise goes up here in the Hilton Hotel. Oh! His legs have gone. Oh, he's gone. His legs completely gone. Conteh in real trouble. Had to be helped back to his corner.